Welcome everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have two reads for you today. I have the Divine Masculine Twin Flame read in front of you, and then I also pulled cards for each sign of the zodiac, so Aries through Pisces, so I'll do that after the masculine read. I did have a few messages for you. I just did a small meditation, and I also had something come up this morning, which was another message. What I received just now, I first saw a child sitting on a bed, and at first it was a female stroking her long hair in front of her, kind of like petting her own hair, but it was switching back and forth to a boy. So the boy was more about telling his worries or his sorrows to whoever was standing there, but it was kind of like they were intermingled, so it could very much represent the masculine and the feminine together. It also could represent dealing with children issues right now. But then I saw a lot of healing occurring right now. And then I saw a sword being pulled out of its case on a person. And they pulled the sword out slowly, and then instead of using it, they actually handed it to the person in front of them to use on them, which I saw them use it on that person. So I'm just wondering if someone has asked their child to take them to a state where it's legal to put them to death. But it was like a father handing his son the sword to kill him, to put him out of his misery. That's the energy I was getting. So this morning, right after I got up, and I went to the kitchen for my usual juice and my decaf, I heard a crow out back. And then when I was finished in there, I came out into the living room, and I heard more crows out front, which I don't usually hear in my neighborhood much anyway. I mean, they're there, but I don't hear them usually. And so I went outside, and there was a ton of crows on either side of my house across in the woods. One on the left, they were all on the telephone wires in the pole, and on the right, they were up in the tree. So of course I looked up the crows, and there's lots of different information about crows. And they were there, I'm on the East Coast, they were there from about 9:30 to 10:30 this morning, but it was weird because they were all there till 10:30, and then at 10:31 they were just gone. They were just all gone, it was quiet. And a group of crows is called a murder, so it's very interesting that I just got that picture of the father and son with the sword, and the group is called a murder of crows. They're from the Corvidae family, which is ravens, magpies, and blue jays also. I looked up some of the meanings, and they were from pbs.org and also learnreligions.com. So there was different meanings for crows. You know, death can be one of them. The truth can be one of them. A low-flying group was an illness coming on one of the sites. I think that was pbs.org. And then a crow calling 3 times means death. If a crow calls in the morning before other birds get a chance to sing, that's supposed to mean rain, which actually was the case this morning. It also represents pride, arrogance, grace, and trickery, but also the balance of dark and light. It's the transition from life to death. Now is the time, and magic is everywhere. Also can represent death, like I said, and the battle to be fought. So in other words, it's the portal energy. So then as I put out the cards, as I was putting out the Gilded Tarot, it's in the shape of a fly, so I was getting the fly as well. And of course that can represent the birds. And that was at 11:01. The deck, oh, and what I wanted to tell you yesterday. The day that added up to, Thanksgiving, Turkey Day. So Thanksgiving's on the 28th, and that day adds up to 51, which is the King of Swords. And we were talking about yesterday about Thanksgiving being the day that we clear wounds, basically. It's when all your family comes together and all the crap comes out to talk about it, you know, or just get it out, or not. But this year, Thanksgiving falls on the 28th, which is the Two of Wands or the Twin Flames, and the day adds up to the 51, which is the King of Swords, very much the Divine Masculine. The SIRIAN Starseed deck today was cut at 10:51 to 52, the King and Queen of Swords, and the 10, of course, is the Wheel of Fortune. All right, so the masculine read here was done at 11:08 to 9 this morning. 11 being justice, and 8 and 9 the strength and the hermit. So the strength within and the justice in that. The major arcana for this read were transition and starseed, which is like the death card and the fool. And before that was indigo and karma. So indigo is like the magician in this deck, and then karma is like the judgment card. We had 3 wands, 1 sword, 2 pentacles, and 3 cups. So very much about wands or physical action and passion, desires, and then 3 cups, which is about the emotions. It was good. There's only 1 sword, so not too much in the mind. And it's not so much about writing or words today. There's 2 pentacles, so definitely could be work and practical things that need to be done, but mostly emotions and action here. We had the Queen of Pentacles and 2 pages in the read today. The Queen of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Page of Wands. After the read, the Knight of Wands and the Page of Pentacles also came up, so there's a lot of kid energy here. And also mother and child, since we have the Queen of Pentacles and 2 pages. The numbers and the message here on the code line were all around pride, perseverance, and domestic harmony for the Divine Masculine. The numbers on the code line was only number 7, so very specific, the number 7 today, which is the Chariot as well. We also had double 9s, very significant, and 99 bottles of beer on the wall come up for that. 1010, which is that very high vibration, but 2 10s, which is the Destiny card or the Wheel of Fortune. And then the sequence 7, 8, 9, 10 and 9, 10, begin again, the end of the cycle. And the number 3 also came up by itself, which is the Empress, but also that coming together in joy, being authentic to yourself, siblings, all that kind of energy. And then 3, 1, 2, 3 came up, and 1, 2, 3 jump. We have 3, 1, 2, 3. And 12, the number in between, it's 3, 12, 3, and 12 reduces to the 3. So that was important to come up here, the Hangman or the Wisdom, flanked by 2 Empresses, or 2 Trinities, 3s. Then we also had, in a lesser sense, 34, which is the 8 of Wands, 47, which is the 7 of Wands, excuse me, the 7 of Cups. And that was pretty much it for the numbers today. There wasn't a lot. But the code line regarding pride, perseverance, domestic harmony, had to do with specifically the 7 of Crystals, which is reaping of rewards, but it's also in this deck for me, the Divine Feminine's heart. This is the challenge for the masculine today. T was coming up, but also just taking the high road. Total hip replacement could be coming up for someone, but overall taking the high road, staying in that high vibration. Also the touch tone or touchstone coming up, the gift, is the show of power of the Divine Feminine's heart, and seeking Sophia, the collective Divine Feminine energy, and the 7, which is the key to being a saint. So it could be, could be seen in a deceptive way or just in a very authentic, loving way as the masculine seeing their show of power in the Divine Feminine's heart as saintly, okay? Also tethering was coming up, and tithing the root, right? So gifting the root, because the root chakra is all about safety and security, which has to do with fear. The tether has to do with a safety line, right? The limit of one's strength and resources. The tether. It's like giving someone a lot of rope to hang themselves. The gift of the root chakra, the safety and security. It's like gifting it, give it away. The root chakra has to do with fears, so take the high road. The high road being the green to the violet chakras, the heart to the crown, right? As well as the pink. So if you take the root chakra of red, in order to make it pink, you need to add a lot of white light to raise that vibration into pink. Red turns to pink if you add white light to it. So let's see what else here. So tethering and tithing the root chakra, the red, the high vibration of the touchstone. The high vibration is the touchstone in the connection between the masculine and feminine, the show of power coming through from the feminine to the masculine, so that he can reap her sweet heart. and that energy. So that was the message coming through for you guys. Also with the words here today, they were all being broken down. The pride, perseverance, and domestic harmony. So pride, not so much being broken down, but I was getting the pride as the P is the safety pin. So for those of you who know that technical drawing that I did, the P is half of the safety pin. It's just the masculine without the feminine and without the housing. So it's like that the masculine alone may be grounded, but he's just the human unbalanced, rid of the E, the divine feminine. So without the feminine, divine masculine is just a grounded human and unbalanced without the divine feminine, based in fear, the root chakra. Also identifying self by being grounded in the root, which is fears, again, the safety and security issues. And then perseverance was being broken down because the PER was covered. So I was just getting the EVERANCE. So a couple different things were coming up. Ever, ants, and that reference for me, because I have my pet ants in the house sometimes. I haven't had them in here for a long time, but I usually get 2 or 3 ants who hang out with me in the summer times and actually end up keeping all the other ants away, being at peace with one another and not killing them. So ever ants comes up, but also ants as opposed to your mother's sister. So your ants may be significant right now, especially as Thanksgiving is coming up. There may be an issue with an ant or an ant who's very supportive. Also Eve and Ra with the ants coming up. And ants very much, if you look at ants, they look very much like ETs. And they are referenced as that as well. So Eve as Adam and Eve, and then the Ra, and the ants were coming up together. So there's a significance there. Also Eve rants, so the divine feminine's rants, and Eve ran to see. So the divine feminine also have with urgency around ants, or their ants, literally their mother's sister. So ants are a big deal right now, whether it's actually the bug or the mother's sister, as far as perseverance. And then domestic, the H was covered. So we had Om-estic, right? So Om, and then Eastern Standard Time, and then the I of the chakra system and the C of the Christ consciousness. So using the Om and the Eastern Standard Time to align your chakras with the Christ consciousness. And also the Om with the divine feminine, possibly having a tick or being a tick or tick-tock. And then O of the human embodiment of source energy and the mystic side of it, the mystic side of the human. Also harmony was missing the H, so it was coming up harmony. So the arm, the O of the human embodiment of source, and then New York, NY was coming up. And it can have to do with our money, or somebody can be moaning about their problems, but also our money is coming up, issues around that. Also the arm on the Y in the road. And also our M for the Mother Mary on the Y in the road. The MY, my mother. And actually Monday's coming up with the MON, so that's today. So are you on the Y in the road today and not moving? So I was also then getting, it's basically saying that you're so stuck on the Y in the road that you actually have a room on the Y, camping out on the Y in the road, which isn't good because it's being stuck, right? It's also getting from the missing letters from the words, the PERS from perseverance, the D from domestic, and the H from harmony. I was getting Persian Dalai Lama. So I looked that up, and there literally was a meeting of members of a group from Iran with the 14th Dalai Lama, and that was in June 7th of this year, 2019. And I'm going to destroy this name, but please forgive me. So Tekchen Koling Dharamsala, HP, India. That's the location of the meeting. At the Dalai Lama's residence there, His Holiness the Dalai Lama met 58, which is the Four of Swords, very peaceful, 58 CEOs of small and medium enterprises. They considered themselves messengers of peace. And the Dalai Lama was reports of links between Tibet and Persia during the time of King Songtsen Khampo during the 7th century, and whereas Persians were described as rich, Mongolians were referred to as warlike. So he was just saying, we're all humans, even despite our differences. We have a lot of similarities between us, and we can certainly come together within our religions. There have been many religions, including in Tibet, who have lived side by side in peace. And he basically said, if you can be compassionate and warm-hearted, you'll be happy. So that's basically his job, is to be happy. All religions are about cultivating love. We are all the same in that we are all human beings. So they talked about, he's the 14th Dalai Lama, and there was discussion there about the next Dalai Lama being a woman coming in, and also the issues with reincarnation and the Chinese government, who feels like they have a right to choose the next Dalai Lama, them saying it's their right. So then, of course, the Tibetans would have 2 Dalai Lamas, their real Dalai Lama, and then the one that the Chinese has posted. So very interesting that came up in this year. Very interesting. Okay, so this read for the Divine Masculine here starts out here with the 3 of Wands, or the 3 flames, with that one flame present, as you can see right there. And for me, that's all about the present, especially in this deck, because there's no ships coming in this deck. It's just about being in the present moment, seeing what's right in front of you, because there's nothing out there to see. There's no outcome to look for. It's just the now to be. We also have the Indigo card here, which is like the Magician reversed, and also Karma reversed here, and then the 10 of Cups up right there with the 3 of Wands on top. So there's a present or gift in the moment, in insecurity, indecision, and ending happiness, emotional fulfillment, in order to create a new challenge, a new cycle. Being patient, taking one step at a time, unable to find calm waters, holding back the gold coin, and biting their tongue to implement a new plan. This is the Divine Masculine. Inspired by negativity, childish words and thoughts, negative self-talk and mean words, spying and mental status challenges of ADD, autism, bipolar behaviors, etc., which are thwarting our new plans. How easily we can talk ourselves out of a good idea. The present, a gift, the 0 point, the calm before the storm of creation, the vortex, the safe haven, the vacuum where no negative particles can get in. The present is the King of Wands, or present is the King of Wands, their surrender to strategize and implement a new plan. As the field goal, right, the outer realms, the field goal is direction, where the wind blows. The King of Pentacles will encounter negativity, no matter what, immaturity of thoughts and words. No news is bad news. No message is lack, but there is no such thing as bad news, only people in lack consciousness. The human being is the message. Presently, the King of Wands surrenders to the Divine Feminine's heart, choosing the path of the King of Pentacles, even if his truth in his message hurts someone else. Then that becomes their wound to heal. A gift, not being an enabler, a disabler, so that they can render themselves able. Cain and Abel, all brothers of the same mother, Mary. Words and actions misaligned, don't match, as negativity is not the goal. The goal is only love and happiness, as the leaves change colors, yellow and green, the orange to brown, a slow process to transform and then go through rebirth. One must take their negative thoughts and words and research Akashic records to see where they originated from and remove the entry wound. Fall colors are very much American Indian based, natural, earthy, grounded in roots, safety and security, life and death, natural living and dying, helping each other to do both. So not only helping them to birth and live, but helping them through the death process as well, to rebirth into another dimension. The Empress reversed and the Hierophant reversed both came up together out in the open, out being seen while the High Priestess reversed and the Magician reversed heal and shine their light. No need to show themselves. They're hiding. A lot of dark energy there. The Master Dark Manipulator and the Dark Spell Worker, the stars of the show, with the Empress reversed and the Hierophant reversed, keeping a lookout for them, like the cover people. Taurus reversed, Pisces reversed, Aries reversed, and then Aquarius upright here. Lack, divorce, secret passion, and manipulation covered by calling it different things, calling it illness, spirituality, telling on someone, or just, I was just unaware. Insecure in the spotlight, and never their fault. So this was at 1221, so it was important and significant. So again, this is very, we have all these majors coming up in a cluster like that. It's very negative energy. We have the Empress reversed, the Hierophant reversed, the High Priestess reversed, the Magician reversed, and then the Star upright on top of them, like showing this light, this healing and dreams come true. And yet look what's behind it all. It's very negative, dark energy of lack and divorce and secret passion and manipulation. And these people covering it by calling it something else, calling it, oh, it's just because they have an illness, they can't do that or whatever. Oh, it's just their spirituality, or telling on someone, or they were just unaware, they didn't know, insecure in the spotlight, they don't like to be seen, and saying, oh, it's not my fault, it's never their fault, right? So it's someone always making excuses for themselves at 1221, covering up at least a misguided plan, if not a dark, direct manipulation. So soulmate comes up and worth waiting for on top at 1221. Two leaders out of control or a cultish situation, pretending to be intuitives but really master dark manipulations in order to gain stardom. The Divine Masculine is present to these negative messages. Surprise, someone's free, gifting themselves as romantic tie with flame, a devilish Capricorn under the radar, or addicted to doing things to get attention, castrated by lack of attention from their twin, needing to mark his territory or to stunt its growth so he can maintain control over it. Negative attention or online illegal manipulation to stunt someone's business growth as well was coming up. Red pump, red boot, footprints, imprints all over it. The red boot, right? The red shoe. That's that karmic energy of dark energy, wanting to manipulate because they live in fear. The red, the root safety and security issues. Pretending to be a flame to get attention and make money from it. Only thing tying them together is their matching colors and their love of luxury items. Unable to thrive without lots of attention. So time out comes up for the masculine, which is number 37, the King of Cups. And by the way, the King of Cups was upright in this read. And below that, the 93 of happy ending. So happy ending for the masculine, and then time out. Unsatisfied and not expressing feelings or energetic exchange, a need to spend money to fight injustice, or just let go of the need to fight at all. The world and completion and opening the heart chakra to their destiny, their fate, and to choose a new path to go with it. Breaking a wishbone at Thanksgiving to decide which way to go. Present to flame, it's always front and center and burns so brightly. Always takes center stage naturally. Pumping to create a vacuum, getting ready to choose and release. Going the distance, stepping into the light, 1 foot at a time, transmuting Caesar's palace, gold bullion, and the Olympics, a much bigger torch to ignite and now carry. Instead of the ski poles, polarized pumps or jumps, it's working with DNA strands, 1 in each hand. Omega, horseshoe, and bay. So the bay of the calm water and emotions, releasing the watch and the shoes made with horsehair and the house by the bay. The wishbone, the backbone, the break that is long overdue, always getting the short end of the stick. You can choose the hard path with 5 dark birds and a huge mountain to climb, or Divine Masculine, you can go with the wind, just 1 deer and little interference. Follow the yellow brick road. It's paved with gold coin, not gold leaf. And also coin, like I always say, is another spelling for Kohan or Ko-Han Solo, 2 co-pilots. She's like the wind and Jupiter rising, a Cancer rising, lucky for you, North Node supporting the nurturing mother. And Virgo, crossing Taurus and Leo, the bull and lion and stubborn pride at 1247. 12 is the hangman and 47 is the 7 of cups. Lots of synchronicities. At 1248, that 8 of cups walking away, which actually ends up being the ending card in the read, the Y in the road, the human center of gravity. Just below the belly button is the aorto-iliac bifurcation, where the heart pumps blood to the legs, where the 4-lane freeway splits into 2 and 2, but dribbles into 1 and 1, and then a half and a half, and then 0 and none. Roads always eventually come to an end, but if you wait too long, your blood supply weakens. Better to get off early at a tributary with fresh flow, brisk. When things are flowing strong, a better chance to a new path may lead you to an ocean or to calm waters to find peace, and sail along or surf the waves to even more horizons on your way. You don't want to get stuck in the delta, right? The pooling of the water that goes nowhere. Going the wrong way, even worse, better to allow the flow to the veins that will do all the work for you in getting back to the heart, from which all stems, and keep those legs healthy so you can keep on keeping on. Follow the yellow brick road to the golden flame. No words or thoughts in spirit connecting, only light messages from the stars to spread with ripple effects. While under the radar, you get to take a time out. Recently for the masculine is the 10 of Swords reversed, the release of the pain, and another world, or the world upside down. Walking away and within, while the hermit sheds light on it, the Queen of Swords reversed in deep mourning, weighing heavy on the hermit's head. The Queen of Wands, with all the details, clearly knows the truth all along. The foundation is the transition card, or the death card reversed. A long, slow death. What a long, strange trip it's been. New love, self-love in the aftermath of sudden events, eruptions, epiphanies, of grieving, loss, and or regret, and not seeing the Queen of Cups right behind him the whole time, helping him along in the 5D. Offering love while grieving and sitting on post-war trauma, yet remaining love, seamlessly affected. Always having your back. The center energy here is the Queen of Pentacles upright, which can represent also the Divine Feminine in her 3D self, but also can represent other people. Actually, both of them can. The Queen of Pentacles upright in the center of the read, with the truth to the player who lost the game. So the truth is being presented to the player who lost the game, that the worst is over as the swords fall out one at a time, the Ace of Swords being the first. The Divine Masculine grounding and integrating the same old offer of love from the Queen of Wands and choosing his flame instead and telling her to triumph and change up in the game. New love is holding their tongue, and the challenge being the 7 of Pentacles, which can be implementing a plan, but it's also the Divine Feminine's heart, open to going out from the heart. So going from the heart out to the extremities, and not being afraid to leave the tower, Rapunzel's tower, coming out of the dark into the light, to be seen. Hanging out with abundant family and being love, the Divine Feminine, sharing with others and finding emotional fulfillment, even offering love to the prisoner of emotional detachment. The Capricorn raises his hand. Yep, that's me here. At 117, that's the Magician and the Star. The new love holding their tongue, or holding back announcements. The Sovereign obsessed with their quest for the impossible dream. Done bleeding out, but offering a hand, or 1 gold coin for 1 gold coin in the aftermath of offering love to unsatisfied, arrogant wizard behind the curtain, transforming into the King of Cups, or unconditional love. Unhappy being alone, naturally partnered to the Queen of Cups. Now being the Starseed, a big bomb drops, breakup, disconnect under the radar due to difficult kids perhaps, or just drained or sick and tired of feeling drained, as I'm losing my voice when I just said that. No life force, or kids or Leo out of control, and my throat's still going out here, so it definitely needs to be words spoken here. Kids or Leo out of control with bubbly or synchronicities everywhere and them seeing them. The Page of Pentacles upright and the Knight of Pentacles reversed could be one good student or one opportunity, and then one lazy kid or stubborn, or an opportunity to be still and choose the correct path. Injustice overhangs the student with options in coming clean about hoarding money to make a fresh new start. And my voice is still having trouble getting out. The worst is over in this deception, this dissatisfaction and arrogance and sexual frustration, controlling the third energy, getting a handle on it, holding back new passion or creatively blocked until they have been okay with burning the past. For the sovereign quest. No new life until they're healed and shining their light, that dreams do come true after suffering in silence, trapped at work using stolen energy, and now offering it back as a present to receive fantasy family as a gift in return. A Leo energy with big palms and feet, tackling the boar, the Scrooge, to get the money out of him. The dark priestess with no keys to the secret passion of the lovers protected by the divine. There's now no going back. And this was like the masculine yesterday, up in the air with no grounding mechanism, but being brave and actually being courageous and allowing himself to leave the ground in order to do what he needs to say. So there's a female Leo Scrooge energy, or just could be ego as well, that must recover alone. So they must learn to do for themselves, away from lovers in divine masculine's heart. The Batcave. Soon coming up is the Page of Cups upright. Cracks their heart open wide on a quest to destined surrender. The Capricorn lets go of what no longer serves and is now raising his hand to the teacher in roll call. Present. The love message, new love, puppy love, the child's love, stuck taking it slow, one stone at a time, leaving no stone unturned. The King of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles taking a long time to die or transform and come closer. The Divine Masculine sees himself as the Nine of Cups reversed, unhappy alone without his twin. And it can relate to children as well. Heartbroken at work with heavy load to carry, knowing innocent love still stands with an offer. This could be the one. Codependency comes up, and then a separate two came up, new love, and pay attention to the red flags. And that has to do with safety and security issues, the root chakra. Around him, or how he is seen, is the Nine of Wands reversed, the surrender of the King of Wands and Sovereign, or that Sovereign is himself. Juggling the Emperor reversed out of control, Leo, or Emperor reversed out of control, or an ego death, controlling his inner beast. Or the King of Wands is worried the Emperor's death will be on his head, or his own death, and the Leos tend to die from heart issues, having heart attacks from overwork. Or Sovereign's father and her are both strong. He left a strong worth ethic to his daughter, or created positive patterns of moderation for her. So it's showing the father who have passed and the daughter both being strong. Or the King of Wands is now the Sovereign, not wanting to follow in his father's footsteps of overworking to death. Unhappy alone or never satisfied that it's never enough, now surrendering, giving up the fight to be strong and sovereign and not work himself to death. The masculine is to clear blocks of the Page of Wands, the masked boy with the flame inside, post-war PTSD, the King of Swords, negativity, afraid to show face to third party, Queen of Pentacles, after the gossip and overindulgences or antisocial behavior. Clear blocks, Divine Masculine, of being inspired by third party, deemed wrong by society who can't see the divine marriage with their eyes. Only matters what you know, what your truth is. Domestic harmony came up, perseverance and pride, but even more so, financial discipline at the moment. And again, perseverance requires you to persevere, but also sever, ants, so ants are coming up again, and Persophia, Eve ran Adam, left to deal with his pride. All right, so now we're at financial discipline. The masculine has to deal with that. Third-party reunion, or no reunion at all by the new moon. The divine masculine walks away and within to the divine masculine's heart, the Batcave, to free himself and express his feelings. Express energy exchange. In the aftermath, he's freeing himself from being Scrooge. In the aftermath of sudden events, epiphanies, and possibly sudden orgasms, dark secret of spontaneous orgasms, the Knight of Cups offering love to unhappy King of Cups, all about being a loving man. Never-ending story on one timeline and brokenness between them on another that just needs to be cleared. Walking away from ego and darkness by the new moon, recovering with lover in the early pre-dawn hours while channels are clear. And the Knight of Wands falling short of flame, in need of help, money, or opportunity to learn his abilities. Moving, ending a marriage, or visiting a friend's house. Not sleeping and or rising above to come out defenseless to energies and poor decisions. But who cares? It's all good. The King of Pentacles back on top, manifesting quickly to go from the Page of Pentacles reversed to the King of Pentacles master by rising above. Presently taking forever to find happiness with self and surrender, but the worst is over with the Queen of Pentacles, challenged by the Divine Feminine's heart, being wide open as the Page of Cups. To the Page of Wands with the mask and burning desire, dropping a bomb for a fresh start, walking away, Batman goes back to the cave to learn his lessons and his abilities at 2:14, Valentine's Day, to re-energize and create his own opportunity instead of relying on someone else to give it to him. Not that he hasn't done work on his own, but in this case, it's saying instead of asking advice from others, he's learning how to manifest on his own with his own advice. So 2:14 is the High Priestess and the Temperance. And I'm losing my voice a little bit again, so Divine Masculine's a little bit afraid of this. All right, and by the way, Valentine's Day adds up to the number 20. In 2020, Valentine's Day adds up to 20, the final judgment. So we turn the page, present to insecurity and bad judgment, indecision, with completing emotional cycle and ending family attachments. The worst is over in choosing a path, taking a long time with the Queen of Pentacles' fresh start, and big bomb dropped, challenged by the Divine Feminine's heart exposed to the light. Unhappy alone, the masculine, with the Page of Cups heart open wide, the feminine, surrendering to the Page of Wands with the mask and burning flame inside, the masculine, Batman now retreating to the Batcave to consult Alfred, or possibly Jim Gordon, the commissioner, to make sure he is creating justice for all and not a personal vendetta. So Alfred was, if you remember, is the butler to Bruce, and he's like a father sometimes, but he's still not quite a friend because he's his employee. Now Jim Gordon only knows Batman. He doesn't know Bruce Wayne. However, Robin, Dick Grayson, is quite close to Batman, and Bruce really trusts him. But it's more of a father-son relationship than true friends. And this is from girlOnComicBookWorld.com. So this is their perspective. Bruce really trusts Robin, but it's more of a father-son thing than true friends. And what they said was the only true friends of Bruce was Bruce and Clark Kent. Clark needs Bruce to be his logic and reality check at times, and Bruce needs Clark to be his light and sense of positivity at times. The Dark Knight recovering from the Dark Priestess to Divine Lover in the Batcave to consult with Alfred and Robin. Alfred falling short on energy, and Robin never learning his lessons, needing guidance that ultimately he must ultimately answer to himself only, to drop the mask and rise as Bruce, to power as the King of Pentacles, as opposed to Batman and the Dark Knight. Commissioner only knows Batman and may not be interested in his true self. So the Divine Master may actually know someone in power, in political or police or whatever it is, who only really knows his false persona and not his true self as Bruce Wayne. So again here, the Commissioner only knows Batman and may not be interested in his true self as he comes out, as his authentic person. He must be okay to stand on his own, even if others walk away. And right after I finished this at 2:38, which is the High Priestess and the Queen of Cups, a bird tapped on my front room window without hitting it hard, so there was no injuries there. All right, so very important message there. So I'm going to show you the cards, and then we're going to get to the 12 signs for everyone. I haven't turned over all the cards for each sign, so it'll be, I did pull the cards just to save time on the video. So we have that 3 of flames there in the underlying energy. And by the way, I pulled the muscle in my right shoulder, so my arm's still hurting me. So I don't know, you guys might be having some right side issues as well. It has to do with the masculine clearing, anger and such, things like that. So we have the underlying energy is the transition or the death card. And those are the cards underneath, okay, with the Queen of Cups. And then the recent past is that 10 of orbs or swords. And the other underlying energies there. Crowning and the center is the Queen of Pentacles, challenged by the 7 of crystals or pentacles. And then crowning there is the Starseed card. It's kind of hard to see it, but you see the bomb dropping there. Then we scroll over here to the near future position, which is the Seeker of Chalices, the Page of Cups upright with the heart open wide. The masculine seeing himself is that 9 of Cups or Chalices, which is reversed in this read. Around him or how he is seen is the 9 of Flames, the Wounded Warrior, but reversed in surrender. Blocks that he needs to clear is that masked boy with the flame inside. And then we end up here, as you see, it's so funny because see, he looks like Batman in that picture. That's the 8 of Cups walking away, and he's going to the Batcave, which is that you just can't see him in the Batcave. So he literally looks like the Batman there, and that's what I call the Batcave, the Divine Masculine's heart. So we end up there with the Knight of Wands reversed above, and then the Page of Pentacles reversed, you know, so that could be 2 kids or just Alfred and Robin, okay? So we end up there, though, with the King of Pentacles on top and a timeout there as well as the underlying energy. So for the 12 cards that I pulled, I already pulled the underlying energies, and then the 12 cards, we start from Aries over here on the left, over to Pisces all the way to the right. And then the 5th card down in the underlying energy is that 2 of Swords, and then we pulled summarizing cards from all 3 decks as well. So we'll get to that in a minute. So first we're going to, let's see here, get to the cards and see what's going on here. All right, so the underlying energy, and I'm going to clarify with the Rider-Waite Mini too. So I pulled cards from all 3 decks. I used the regular Rider-Waite, then I have the KIPPER deck, and then the THOTH deck, and then the mini Rider-Waite I'll use as well. So we start out here with the 2 of Swords reversed, so there's some clarity that's come in, whether it's new information, whatever it is, there's some kind of clarity that's been gained here, but possibly knocking you off balance, right? Because when we go to the odd, it may knock us off balance for a minute until we ground and integrate to come down back to balance again. But we start out with this, and then the water signs have the Hangman on top, hanging out, being wise, could feel like they're in limbo, but seeing new perspectives. And then the air signs have the 6 of Cups, which has to do with the twins or the children, getting along, being loving to each other. And then the earth signs, we have the Judgment card, so hearing the call to action, making a judgment, final judgment coming in, or an announcement being made. And then we end up here with this card, which was the bottom card of the deck, which is the 3 of Cups, reversed. So having to do with negative groups, overindulgences, addictions, gossip, antisocial behavior, no joy, and third-party issues or third-party interferences. Can be a dark coven as well as 3 cups reversed. Okay, so a lot of different energies with the fire, but the other energies are actually quite positive. So the underlying energy for the KIPPER deck is the high honor. So definitely high honor coming up. We get a 3-gun or 6-gun salute represented there of high honors. And the main male is below that. Oh, interesting. The deck. So I'm just pulling up to see what was underneath the high honors. And there we have the main male and female. So very nice. And there's the house behind it. So pretty nice, guys. Someone might be in... someone's in court with unexpected income, and the next thing you know, you got a house and the main male and female and high honors. Okay, so that's the underlying energy. And then for the Thoth deck, we have the Queen of Discs as the underlying energy, and the Queen of Pentacles is right in the middle of the read. So it's very in line with that. And this is strife, but it's reversed. It's like the 5 of Wands. So it's like the fight is over. And below that was the Sun. So everything was exposed. Okay, so the fight is over, the battle's over, and the Queen of Discs ends up on top, and the King of Discs ended up on top of the reed. So very nice. All right, so now we're going to start with Aries and go one at a time. We'll do the fire signs first, and I will clarify. I just want to shuffle my mini deck a couple times before we get going. So we have high honors for the King and Queen of Pentacles. And clarity as well. Okay, just one more time. So this is November 18, 2019. For everyone watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Okay. So for Aries, and for all of the fire signs, we have the 3 of Cups on top reversed, okay? So for Aries, we have the 8 of Cups reversed, so not walking away, kind of stuck in their emotions with uncomfortable emotions. It could be also doing the work of ascension while amidst a lot of other energies, which makes it very difficult. Then we have Courtship and the Hermit reversed. So there's the Hermit upright for this deck. So, I mean, this is a courtship or marriage that's very uncomfortable. You know, we have this is very difficult energy to sit in, not walking away, but dealing with these very difficult emotional issues. And then the Hermit reversed, which before coming out is also very uncomfortable. It could be someone with mental issues as well, of over-isolation or mental disease. Somebody could have some kind of mental disorder. Okay. So we have that 3 of Cups up top, which has to do with third parties and overindulgences and negative groups that you're part of. So there may be a group that Aries needs to walk away from, but isn't because of the security of the relationship. Okay, but somebody's going to be forced to come out. Okay, or this could be a parent with mental issues, Alzheimer's, anything like that. Okay, so they might be living with not only a difficult marriage, but maybe stuck there because of parents living with them or parents and children, whatever the situation is. So very difficult situation. Let's see what else is coming up for Aries. Let's see here. All right, so Aries has the Devil reversed. There's a lot of, see all the black in the cards. It's a lot of dark energy here. So there is some rest and meditation. Somebody could have passed away recently. Someone's definitely suffering in silence. Meditating, right? Dealing with all this crap energy here, PTSD, chaos, and trying to find peace in between, but suffering in silence, stressed out to the max. All right, this is not a good situation for anyone here. Okay? This is either avoiding a disaster or in the aftermath of disaster. Either way, it's uncomfortable energies. That's where the PTSD comes in after the war. And then we have the Devil reversed, but that doesn't mean we're in detox yet. It could be the worst of it before it gets better. But these chains need to be broken. Okay? And there's someone's going to fall. Because of all this, this person is not giving up these burdens, the work, the overwork, their responsibilities. So they're going to fall. Okay? If they don't let go of themselves, they will fall. All right, so that's Aries. So you really need to take a break. You need to get out of the negative situation. You have to let go. You have to have faith. All right, so now we have Leo. So again, we have the Three of Cups reversed up top. So Leo has two threes, the Three of Pentacles and Three of Cups. We also have the Thief and Cruelty, all right? And this is interesting because this is upright. So we're not getting issues at work. This is a place of great honor. However, there's a thief and cruelty going on there. This is the Nine of Swords. Like, this is the suffering in silence because someone's stealing your... And so it doesn't have to be a literal thief. It could be somebody stealing your peace, you know, at work. So no matter whatever they're doing, someone's trying to control you or steal from you, and there is no peace, or someone's just cruel to you, which is stealing your life force in this place of honoring. This could also be, as opposed to work, it can be a coming together for some kind of special honoring, but maybe you have to come together with family that you don't get along with, or someone you've recently divorced, or someone who's literally a thief in the family, who's actually cruel. Could be a father who's always been cruel to their son. So these are deep issues coming up for you guys now. You know, especially with the thief and the cruelty, the most cruel thing is for your own family to actually steal from you. So that's kind of what the energy I'm getting. Or someone who lets a child kind of run wild, and where the parents think it's funny, the child is actually doing a lot of harm to other people. So let's see what else is coming up for Leo here. Why does Leo have these energies? The Thief and the Nine of Swords. All right, and this popped out. So the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So some bad luck going on here. Or in the slowdown of good fortune. I'm getting to, it's like, in order for things to go back in line, it's like the retrogrades are happening to slow things down so everyone can see things clearly before speeding up again to go forward. And this is about the King of Cups releasing himself to be present. It could be two different people too. Someone freeing themselves. This is not negative though. So it could be that that thief or the negative energy that's stressed out is leaving the situation. Look at all this yellow. Wow. This is about bad timing, or just really things are really slow, or they're downturn of events. Like I said, the retrogrades can be affected there too. But this is about the King of Cups. He's upright, which is a good, loving man. It can just represent unconditional love as well, with the Fool finally free to open their heart to them because they're being present now and they're learning to manifest in the present moment. This is someone coming into their power because they came into unconditional love. We have the King of Wands here too. I was just getting Cain and Abel from the read. So the brothers, this could be 2 to 3 brothers, or it could be 2 brothers and a father. He comes up as a father a lot in the reads. But they're all upright here. It's interesting. It's because when events go south, it's bringing family together. This is what's happening. Yeah, there might have been a death in the family too. Okay. So when events are bad, or it's a death that may be coming, especially since I had all those crows this morning. All right, let's go to Sagittarius. So Sagittarius has the 4 of Cups reversed. So starting over in love, no longer settling. It can be a romantic relationship, or wanting to start over with whatever you love, whether it's your work, your family, your love. There's sudden wealth here for Sagittarius, and the Prince of Cups, which is like, or the Princess of Cups, which is like a female page of Cups, which is very sweet and innocent. So somebody may feel like they hit the jackpot, and this is like the Page of Cups, which came up in the read as the Divine Feminine here, offering their heart to the masculine. So this could be the masculine feeling like they hit the jackpot with the Page of Cups, which is very sweet energy here. And that third, you know, and with the third party energy at the top. So the best of these three is coming up as the Sagittarius, because it can very much be that the third party is the person of love for Sagittarius. So let's see what else is coming up for Sagittarius. Here we go. Sag, that's nice. You may be connected to Leo too, because you're getting the same cards. Okay. So being free to be love and be present at the same time and manifest. So you're getting all the same cards. So one of you might be Leo and one Sag. We have, this could be Virgo, Gemini, or Aries energy as well. So there's a lot of different energies coming up there. And then, of course, when we get the death in the family, so it could be a family where there's a Sagittarius and a Leo, or this is just the dark night energy of the masculine. Okay? Getting through the dysfunctional family, walking through the murkiness of the 4D, maybe to follow in the footsteps of someone else who's found their freedom here. Okay? Could be, you know, this person finding their freedom and then setting a precedent or example for the next one to go into their happy place or their union. And there's the High Priestess coming up and the Sovereign. All right, so now we have the earth signs. We have the Judgment on top, so an announcement, being called to action, some kind of legal announcement or final judgment made as well. So Taurus has the Fool reversed, as well as a message of concern and the Universe reverse. So this is, everything's kind of incomplete right here. We have the World reversed and the Fool reversed, which can be foolish behavior or falling for something and being foolish. It can be considered foolish by others, but this traditionally is the Fool, when it's upside down especially. As a message of concern comes in, which may rock your world or upset the apple cart, which is what I'm getting. I don't usually say that, so that's weird they came out. And this can be represented as your world incomplete or just thrown up in disarray around, but also can represent the other world of the 5D. But this is about a message that comes in that throws somebody's world upside down. All right, so that somebody may fall from grace. They may have gotten caught. They may lack faith that things are going to go their way. So let's see. It looks like the message is a final judgment. So it could be a court case or a legal notice that comes in, or it could be a divorce decree that finally comes in. But maybe it's someone's surprised, doesn't know someone's leaving, and they send them a note like that. Okay, so the Emperor's here. It looks like they're celebrating, coming together in joy with the King of Pentacles. There's a lot of happiness here. So whatever this negative energies are coming in, the message looks good ultimately for somebody anyway. I mean, this could be Taurus. I mean, either one could be Taurus energy. We have Leo here as well and Aries. So this is coming together to celebrate. Everything's been exposed. High energy with a negative past, or children who've been difficult are exposed, or this can be the past returning, and that all is exposed, so it like brings everything to a happy conclusion. And this all this energy from Taurus then leads into the energies from Leo and Sag. It could be a father and son who get on the same page, or even two brothers. They're not really looking at each other. They're both in power, right? Because he's just below the Emperor in power. But they're coming together with the group, or maybe the group is acting as a buffer between them, because he's not looking at him and he's looking the other way too. So some people are celebrating and they're fine with everything exposed, but they're not really talking to each other. All right, and this could be a past. So maybe business is really good, or need to come together at Thanksgiving, but they don't really want to, but they'll just put up with it. There may be a negative past between them from the childhood. Okay, it could be a father and son. So that may not be fun. Oh, this message then could be that someone's coming to Thanksgiving, and Taurus is not happy about it. That could be the King of Pentacles. So either the King of Pentacles is upset as Taurus because the Emperor's coming, or vice versa. Or there's a final judgment in a suit between them, or in a divorce, whatever it is, or a business contract break. That's what's going on for Taurus. All right, so now we have Virgo. We have the Queen of Wands reversed, the mature man, and then peace that's reversed. This is like the Two of Swords, but it's reversed, which it was coming up reversed. So there's no peace just because new information came in, so it might knock you off balance a bit, but ultimately it's good because it gives you clarity. And there's definitely some judgment between the Queen of Wands reversed and a mature man, with the clarity coming in. And she's not happy about it, or she's just exhausted, or she could be sick as well. I'm not getting illness really here. It's more about he may have found out something that she did or said, or like, this could be a legal judgment where the mature man won and she didn't, so she's really pissed. All right, so this is Virgo. Let's see what else is coming up for Virgo. Why do we have judgment with the Queen of Wands reversed, the mature man, and the Two of Swords? So these flipped right out. So the Queen of Wands reversed could definitely be flipping out. This could be a fight. This is someone who's stuck in their emotions without peace, and we did have peace reversed, so no peace. In recovering financially or in a practical way. It's like, why would you want to recover back into no peace? There's still fighting going on here. Okay, somebody's losing their temper. And that looks like the Queen of Wands. So new information comes in for the mature man or for the Queen of Wands or between them in a judgment. It could just be an announcement or a call to action or even a video like this, or it can be a legal judgment that's come in. But either way, it's clarity, but the Queen of Wands is not happy or sick or tired or sick and tired. But the mature man seems to be okay. Let's see here. All right, there's the judgment card again. So someone definitely has lost their temper. We got fighting and no patience, and the need to recover with no peace. All right, so this announcement may have been an offer of love. Coming from someone who's very sexually frustrated. Okay. So an offer of love may be announced and really sets off the Queen of Wands here. So this mature man may have done that. Okay. So this is going to end a work situation and a home situation all at once. So it's a big deal. Or someone may be running back to a bad situation. This could be someone lying, cheating, or stealing in the situation. Or calling in the cavalry. Somebody could be out spying for the Queen of Wands. And as soon as she finds out about all this, she's calling them back really quick before they get caught. There could be something like that going on too. That's a lot going on. It could be that someone's away at the time too, that they hear about this. So like, maybe they were stealing away and now they have to run home to deal with the situation, so they can get their stuff before they think everything's going to go, especially in a split, if it's a marital split. Maybe someone decided to split while somebody is traveling across the world, whether it was for business or for pleasure, because they knew if they did it when they were away, they could then take whatever they wanted out of the house or business before the other person got back. So I'm kind of getting that energy. But either way, it's ultimately good. But it looks like a lot of chaos is going on in the meantime. But there's clarity here. So Capricorn has the Queen of Pentacles, which is the middle of the read, with the wealthy man. And completion is not quite complete because it's reversed. We finally got a piece of the pie. So I'm getting George Jefferson here. So somebody might be moving to New York, to the east side. Okay, but things aren't complete here. They both look good, but they could be splitting up too because we have a judgment there. Or this could be a judgment in their favor as a couple. But it's not, but like I said, this could be a split because this is incomplete here. They haven't quite completed the cycle. So let's see which way it goes. Or maybe they're making an announcement. All right, we've got that Queen of Wands again. So Virgo and Capricorn both have this Queen of Wands here reversed. But here with Capricorn, we have the Six of Wands reversed. So it's like no one knows about the breakup yet, if there is a breakup, because she's pissed under the radar. Or she's feeling like a failure, so she's humiliated. Possibly by the Emperor. But this Queen of Pentacles, the Capricorn, is upright. So I'm not getting that that's her. She could be the third person, like the Queen of Pentacles. She could have been the one in a relationship, or vice versa. But she's not happy. She's pissed. But the Emperor's good. He may be celebrating. All right? So it definitely looks like a split or some kind of failure here, whether it's business or in relationship, or her doing something bad under the radar, being sneaky, and him winning his case and celebrating. So the wealthy man wins the case, but things aren't quite finished yet. And then we have the King of Pentacles coming up here too, which we have a Queen of Pentacles here. So this wealthy man could be either one of these. Maybe both of these men won the case against this person. There's a lot of people involved here. It could be a business and a relationship. Or it could be a partnership between three people here. All right? And so maybe this person's leaving the partnership. Or they're all settling out. And these two are okay with each other, but this one's not. Okay? But ultimately, everything's exposed. A negative past, the past returning, difficult kids, all of that exposed. So whether it's a family court, or family and business, or some kind of suit at business that's involved, it's settled now. And it looks like these two are good, but things aren't quite finished yet. There's still some problems, you know, with the other people involved, okay? There's still things that need to be worked out. And a pissed person. Or she could just be tired or sick, but I'm not really getting the sick thing here. All right, so now we go to the air signs. All right, so Gemini, with air signs all have the Six of Cups up top, so that's beautiful energy. It's either kids or the twins. It's that, you know, beautiful, innocent heart of two people coming together. We have the World reversed, and poverty, and strength. So being strong out in the world, maybe their world's upside down because they just lost all their money or walked away from all the money, but they're being strong. But this is not the 8 or 11 card. This is the 9 of Wands card in this deck. So it's like the wounded warrior, you know, alone out in the world without any money. Like Oliver. He looks like Oliver. All right, so this is for Gemini. Let's see why Gemini has this. There is innocence of heart here. So ultimately it's a good thing, but a little scary, you know. Being out in that big old world with nothing. Okay, so this is coming up for Gemini, where there's a need to detox possibly, needing rest, quiet, place to be, stressed out with all the chaos around, or just suffering in silence, crying, headaches, up at night because of the chaos that's going on in the environment, trying to get some rest and you can't. All right, so Gemini might need to leave the situation because they're going to go insane because they can't get any rest there. And this was coming up for Aries as well. So Gemini might be dealing, I think it was Aries, wasn't it? I don't know if it's Aries or Leo. I can't remember. But either way, they just need to drop all their responsibilities because they can't handle it anymore, even if it means poverty. All right, so then we have Libra, has the 6 of Pentacles upright, which is very Libra, very much in balance. And there's a message coming in, and this is the Emperor, but reversed. So this could be a death of someone, okay, with a message coming in and the Emperor reversed. And here it could be distributing of an inheritance, okay? That could be one thing, because we have the kids up top. So this could be a father who passed away, and they got notice of the will, and now they're distributing the inheritance. Or it could be an emperor's out of control. The emperor's out of control, abusing their power. But I'm really not getting that. I'm getting that if he was, he left the situation so that everybody else could find balance again. It could be someone in ego death too, that were able to find balance because children or the twin came in to help the emperor lose his ego and no longer need to be the head of a company, allowing him to retire or find something else he'd rather do. Or again, like I said, it could be the death of a parent or someone who was running a business, and now there's peace amongst any distribution that's going on around them, whether it be work or home, with a message coming in. So it could be a will, or just that someone's ill and they can't come back to work. But either way, it's very peaceful for children, for twins, or for people at work who really like each other, but they had a hard time with this emperor around. So let's see what else is coming up for Libra. Why does Libra have the emperor reversed with the message? Okay, again, we have this freedom. So somebody's free from a father maybe who wasn't so good. It's like coming up like now he's passed, he can be the good father. We don't have to hide the nastiness anymore. Or it's just the emperor reversed, changing his ways and becoming this. Free from the obligations so that he can just be love and be a loving father. Even though there may be some lack of peace here still that needs to be taken care of. Because in the freedom of somebody else is going to get stuck with the work, right? Someone's going to need to recover the empty space at work or home, whatever it is, whatever the responsibilities were before. They're going to need to take time to recover all that stuff, and there may be a fight about it. Who has to take care of the work, right? Someone loses their temper. Okay, and this final judgment about who has to take over the responsibilities now that this person's retiring or just going to be at peace, free. Okay, so that's all right. And again, the love comes in here with the fight and the temper and the judgment, the call to action, announcement was all due to love coming in and some sexual frustration. So this person may be retiring because he wants to have a life. Okay, but there's definitely issues at work and home. Again, this leads into all that stuff about a break of a home and work relationship. But ultimately, there's peace for children or twins up top. There's balance. There's an equitable relationship with this message coming in, or this emperor who has passed, or with the inheritance coming in that might be helpful to someone who couldn't do something before. Now they have the money to do it. Or, like I said, just someone retiring and no longer working hard like that, but then it's going to fall on somebody else. So then we have Aquarius with the Page of Swords reversed, the pathway, and futility. So it's like the Seven of Swords. All right, so there's a lot of negative swords here. This isn't reversed, but it's the liar, cheater, thief card in the usual deck. But here it's just the futility in it. This is negative self-talk, spying, mental issues, very immature communication. But it's all part of the path, right? It's about the dark and the light, recognizing your shadow side in order for it to come up and clear it. Right? You can't pretend not to be negative at times. We're human. You can't pretend. You're always going to have some negative thoughts and immaturity. It's just about the path. It's not about the outcome. It's about enjoying the journey. Okay? And loving even your negative self. Loving even the self who may have lied or cheated or stolen. It's futile to fight it. You are who you are. Just know who you are and love yourself in each moment. And as you grow and increase your vibration, then you'll be less and less of that negative side of yourself. But either way, still love it. That's what I'm getting for Aquarius. All right, and we have the Six of Cups up top too. So it's very much about loving yourself, loving your inner child, and accepting your imperfections. Okay, so this flipped over. This could be somebody rolling over in their grave over the situation. But for Aquarius, this could be sexual or creative frustration or blocks. But getting a handle on the third energy. You know, learning how to use your creative energy to be present and how to manifest from 0 point, from the vortex, from the vacuum, the moment before the storm. This is about how to use your quanta to manifest. All right, and this is the King of Wands, the man of passion. So, and also the Dark Knight. So it's very much as a twin divine masculine coming in to his power, learning how to use his energies. Okay, and walking away from family if need to. It's the Dark Knight walking across the 40 bridge over the dead bodies in order to go through dysfunctional family or family issues or loss of money. And that's not quite at surrender yet, but this is about dealing with defensive people, and it could be the divine feminine who's been in peace but very wounded from what she's been through with him. And this is him trying to come over the bridge toward her. Okay? And she is sovereign. All right, now we get into the water signs. Water signs have the hangman up top, so being wise, seeing new perspectives, hanging out and being still. For Cancer, we have the 5 of Cups reversed, which is getting over yourself, getting over any grief, loss, regret, letting go of the third baton to either finish the race or start over, but deciding, not feeling sorry for yourself anymore. This is the mature woman and the Aeon, which is like the Judgment card. Okay, so there's been deliberation, but finally getting over themselves. This could have been a bad decision to not change, right? So this might have been that indecision, vacillating, not to let go of the past, and now finally letting go of the past, and it's a mature woman, okay, who may have been a bad decision, but now finally figuring it out, being wise, seeing a new perspective in all of it. So let's come in. What else do we have for Cancer? Okay. So this is about the truth being realized or presented, the triumph in rejection. Okay, feeling vulnerable. The truth presented also to someone who may have been spoiled. But the worst is over. This could be somebody who's shy, vulnerable, rejected. But it also can be the child who complains all the time because they've always gotten what they wanted. It can be an adult child as well. But someone's triumphing over it and handing them the truth on a silver platter, basically, so that the worst can be over for everyone and the swords can drop out without option. Okay, there definitely could be a breakup here. Okay, or there's just a lack of affection. Just there's too much brokenness here to fix it. So the truth is presented. The worst is now over, but there's definitely a breakup. There's a lot of brokenness here. That can definitely be a breakup. Okay, and then we have the Empress reversed too. We have Taurus, Cancer, Gemini. A lot of energy here. Okay, so Cancer got a Cancer card, reversed. It also could be a Taurus, Cancer energy, maybe a Taurus who has Cancer, or a Gemini. But obviously the person has Cancer in it because we're doing Cancer. It could be somebody around you too. It could be a mother who's sick, or someone having a breakdown because of a breakup, or somebody who may have miscarried as well. So the Empress may have lost a child here. Or just no love loss between these energies here. There's a lot of brokenness. The truth is presented, and it affects all of these people. Okay, so it could be Gemini, Cancer, and Taurus who are all affected negatively by the truth. But it's okay, as long as it's the truth presented with love. This could be another child that's affected by it as well. So ultimately there is connection here with the King of Swords. Okay. So being wise and being still and presenting the truth. It could be a mother presenting the truth to the family, or she was presented the truth and needs to get over it. All right, now we have Scorpio. Scorpio has the Ace of Cups reversed, the community, and wealth, which is the 10 of Pentacles. So Scorpio may feel pushed to the emotional limits. They could be dumped. They could be crying a lot. Okay, they could just feel overwhelmed in their community at work, even though in essence, it's a good community. They may be expecting too much of you. Maybe you feel like you owe them something. Maybe this family is where your wealth really comes from. Or maybe you need to leave one situation to go to a new situation. But you have a lot of support here. You have either emotional support of the community, or you literally have family wealth and support as well. So even though something's not working out here, whether it's love or work or whatever it is that's not working out, you're feeling stressed out, it's about loving yourself first. Okay? You have to love yourself before the community. Even though you feel like you might owe something to these people, you owe it to yourself first. So that's for Scorpio, being wise, seeing others' perspectives in the situation. All right, Scorpio, what else needs to come up for you? Okay. So you are not expressing your feelings, and there's imbalance here. So this definitely could be a work situation where you want to leave, or you're leaving, or you left, because you're not expressing your feelings, so you're keeping to yourself. Maybe you even gave notice already, so you have to keep to yourself. And trying not to give too much energy away because it's an imbalance, like you're not getting paid enough, or it's just not fair, the distribution of work effort there, and getting over it. Okay, so new clarity has come in, but there's some imbalance that needs to be dealt with and corrected. Okay, and maybe this is somebody who's going to help you along with that. That could be you as well, as Scorpio female. Okay, implementing a new plan to find emotional happiness. Okay, so last one for Pisces, again, being wise, hanging out, seeing new perspectives. We have the Five of Swords reversed, so the end of the war could be just an inner war within yourself as well on the journey, and the Hangman. So we have the Hangman again. So Pisces is being very wise, staying on path on their journey, and allowing the war to end. There could be some PTSD here, and you're allowing yourself to just hang out. You might have just traveled, or you're going on some travels to just hang out and be still for a moment. Okay, so it looks very peaceful for Pisces. That the hard part is over. You don't have to fight yourself so much anymore. All right, the worst is over. No options, just to be. No path to go on, just to be still. Okay, so maybe a breakup. It could be indecision here, or just no affection. But the worst is over. It could be a breakup for sure. So we're going back into this this energy with the Cancer and Taurus. So Pisces could be connected to Cancer with the Gemini, Cancer and Taurus here. The worst is over. No options, just to process, ground, and integrate what's been going on. There's a lot of negativity in order to come back into connection with the King of Swords. So it's Cancer and Pisces dealing with the same situation. The bottom of the deck ends up being the Page of Cups reversed, so someone feeling vulnerable, and that can very much be Pisces, feeling vulnerable and rejected, with the Truth presented. So somebody was juggling. We have a lot of pentacles here with kids. So maybe kids work, young people working. Somebody working. This could be at school as well, but this may be a bad student or someone who never learns, an opportunist, who may have been juggling or burning both ends of the stick, right? And then the truth was shoved in their face, so they had to see it. It may have been by Pisces, or this is Pisces, and now they feel rejected. Maybe somebody was juggling. Maybe Pisces was doing two jobs, or at school and work at the same time, and they couldn't handle it. They just need to be still. Maybe someone needed to put the truth in your face so you'd really, learn to love yourself first. All right. So we have the Page reversed, the Queen of Cups, and then High Honor. So it's definitely a mother and child energy of high honor. Appreciating the gifts that have been given. So for here, summarizing all of them, we have disappointment with the Five of Cups, which was just reversed, but here it's not. All right, it's about letting go of the third baton, either finishing what you're doing or starting over again, but not staying at the Y in the road, feeling sorry for yourself. And then 10 is the 10 of Cups, emotional, to find emotional fulfillment. And that could just be family around you if you're grieving, okay? And then, you know, if you've been having a hard time, it could have been spending time with your family. And then we have the Knight of Swords reversed. So somebody could be verbally abusive or just holding their tongue, holding back announcements about what's going on because you haven't decided yet. And then here's the 6 of Cups, which is about just having really sweet moments with each other. It could be kids' parties as well. And this is the wild card saying, you know, it's up to you guys. Everything is possible. The whole spectrum of the rainbow. All right, then we have these guys here from the KIPPER deck. All right, so we have the courthouse coming up. So it could be something legal. It could just be paperwork in the mail that you have to take care of. But something about the empty family room. And somebody who's concerned. So this could be a house that's not usually empty, that's empty now, or it could be a house that's been sold, or a new house you just moved into, or an empty house that's been empty for a long time and, you know, you really want to fill it with someone, but there's some legal ramifications here. So it has to do with occupation, but the home as well. So somebody could be flipping houses as well, but there's a false person involved. And change. So somebody could just be wearing a mask. It doesn't have to be someone who's doing anything terrible, just not exposing their full personality or their self, or someone not telling you about the changes they're about to make. So he's worried because he doesn't know what she's up to. So it could be legal issues surrounding a house. Somebody's worried they might lose their home or lose their business, and then they won't be able to support the people working for them. Like this person could be planning on buying a car, but they don't know they're going to lose their job. And this could be a separate person at work too who just can't afford not to have their job, that kind of thing. So that's kind of energy I'm getting there. So the boss or a parent may be concerned about their employees or their children with the changes that need to come up. So this would be summarizing the fire signs. So we have the High Priestess. So using your intuition, being in your knowing, keeping to yourself for the fire signs. With clarity. For the earth signs, we have the King of Cups reversed, which can be someone who's emotionally detached, someone who's over-emotional, crying a lot, or being manipulative. And it could be a drunk person as well. So make sure you know their intentions there. And then we have another one, the King of Wands, next to him. They're not talking to each other. And this can be that Emperor and the King of Pentacles as well. You have two people, and Cain and Abel, they could be two brothers as well. They're not talking to each other, and they're both reversed. And this is for air, this is for earth. And then for the water signs, we have unable to find peaceful water, still stuck in your emotions, not released. Okay, so they haven't settled things between them here. These two guys are at odds for sure. And then we have the Page of Cups coming in, right? Out of the mouths of babes. So sometimes it just takes a loving child or an offer of love. This can be puppy love and a new child as well. And this is how we end with the King of Pentacles, which is the last card of the read. And this is home, union, happy marriage. All right, so this can be an offer of love or a child with a father and child who are moving to a new home. It's been very rocky because maybe there could be a three-way partnership here with the King of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the King of Cups, and the King of Pentacles may have been the main man in the practice, or whatever the business or home is, whatever it is, and he left to love himself first, or to be with the children, to be home, and these guys are left holding the bag, all right? But somebody's very happy with their decision here. All right, guys. Drink your water, get your rest, you know, find your joy, spend time in nature, and just enjoy your life. Have fun. You know how it goes. Just rise and be loved, guys, okay? Bye. I'll see you later.